March was a much better month than January and February combined. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened. Hey Dragonlings, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name Hegyes, and today we're doing my March 2025 wrap-up. And we're going to go over some of my goals for April as well. If you're interested in following along on my journey, feel free to subscribe to my channel and you'll be getting updates every time I post one of these videos, hopefully once a month. As a side note, the next thing I wanted to let you know, a warning, is that if you see me looking down, it's because I have my tablet here with my notes of everything I wanted to discuss in this video. Because of the fact that I have so much to go over, there's no way I could just memorize it. So if you see me looking down, it's me looking at my notes. So first, let's go over everything that happened in March. We're going to start with the challenges and then go over everything that was achieved. At the beginning of March, I was still getting over being sick, still recuperating, and I had a persistent cough, which was the first challenge that I had to do. In fact, I joked around a couple times that I had lost my voice and was slowly getting it back, but I sounded weird, and I was like, oh, this is just my voice forever and ever, and it has since cleared up and gone away, but it was causing a persistent cough at the time, and yeah, I've fully recovered now at this point. The next couple of things that happened is that we had trouble with the truck not starting one day. My husband went out to start it to go pick up the kids from the bus stop, and it was like, nope, we don't want to. We had to accrue some towing fees because we had to have it towed from our house to the shop to figure out what was going on with it, which is not cheap. Towing fees are not cheap, especially when you live outside of town. But we did find out that we needed to replace the fuel pump, so they did that. They also took a look underneath the truck because there were some things going on with the tires and driving and stuff, and we discovered that they needed to replace a U-bolt, which they did. And they also told us that there was a tire that's got cracks like all around it, so we need to replace that. Haven't quite done that yet, but we're getting there. But with the truck in the shop, we actually had to find rides back and forth to town and work and school and all that fun jazz, so that was a fun experience that I really don't like repeating. The other thing we found out was that Meta has been training their AI program using books stolen from pirate sites, so that's fun news. I actually discovered that the 2 anthologies I've taken part in recently had been stolen. If I can find the website where you can put your name or your books in and find out if they have been used to train Meta, I will put that in the description. And I think the thing that irritates me the most about this is the fact that Meta is such a billion-dollar company and AI has exploded to the point where even if legal action is taken against this company for doing that, nothing more than a slap on the wrist is going to happen. And I think that's the reason I feel so upset about it. I probably have more thoughts on this, but not to be part of this video. The next things that were a problem, and this was due to a couple different reasons. I've been dealing with some insomnia lately in the month of March, as well as the fact that I changed my schedule a little bit. I typically work nights. I did a writing challenge called the 7-Day Book Challenge, and I took a week off from work to do that, but that challenge took place during the day, so I changed my sleep schedule from day to night to day again, and that transition mixed with the insomnia has not been helping. But because of the writing challenge, the other thing that didn't happen that probably should have, and this was all my fault, both the sleep schedule changes and this particular problem were my fault, and that's the fact that I planned out my live streams for the writing challenge and the other events I took part of, but I didn't sync those plans up with the family plans very well. So lessons learned, there was some confusion about who was going to take who to what things when. Lessons learned. It's all good. As far as the things I accomplished, all the things that gave me a achievement unlocked goal, I had my monthly date night with my husband, Justin. We tried to go out by ourselves at least once a month. The other thing that happened is I saw a play. We went and saw Alice in Wonderland. It was me and the girls. They sat with their friends. I sat by myself. It was all good. Another thing that I accomplished is that I did my nails at least 3 times. For me, that is a form of self-care. I really like having my nails done. Plus, it prevents me from tearing up my cuticles because I tend to do that a lot. Plus, I rip my nails off. So my nails are looking a little terrible right now because I haven't redone them since the last time I had them done. But it's time. the youngest finished up archery, and during that last archery session they did what they call a fun night, and part of that fun night is the fact that they did a raffle, and we actually won a rifle in that raffle. Say that 5 times fast. Because of the writing challenge and the fact that StreamYard only allows you to stream so many hours, and I was planning on doing like twice that, I did play around with both OBS and Restream as far as streaming services go. I like Restream if I've got a guest. However, if I'm just streaming by myself, I actually prefer OBS. And if I can figure out how to successfully have guests using OBS, I will probably be switching to OBS completely, just because I like it. I really like it. Another thing that happened in March is my birthday month. I celebrated my 35th birthday, which was both super exciting and at the same time very anticlimactic, because my birthday unfortunately fell on the same weekend that the truck was in the shop, so we couldn't go anywhere or do anything. So we had to cancel a lot of our plans, change a lot of our ideas, and it all worked out. It was not a bad day, but it just didn't go as we had originally planned it to. So everything worked out. It's fine. And then the last thing that happened in the month of March is the fact that I completed the 7-day book challenge. This is a writing challenge I try to do once a quarter, and we actually did it twice this quarter because the way everything fell. I did not personally succeed at the writing challenge. In the frames of the challenge itself, I am very happy with the way it went though, so don't get me wrong. When I say I failed the challenge, I failed in the direct parameters of the challenge. Like if you were to go like strictly do this or lose kind of thing, I completely failed. But I'm very happy with the progress I made, and I call it a success because of that. So I have a vlog where I talked about the writing challenge and how it went. You can find that linked in the description below if you're interested. Next, I want to go over my annual goals. I try to keep you updated with how they're going, and it also keeps me accountable to make sure I'm doing what I said I wanted to do. I've got my annual goals separated into 3 categories, and I have 3 goals under each of those categories. And a couple things have changed about them, so let's go ahead and get into those real quick. The first category is reading, and the first goal under reading is the reading challenge 12 recs from 12 friends, which is where I get 12 recommendations, 1 each from a friend. I still need to do my video from last year's, the 2024 edition. I have vlog clips that I need to go through and edit and piece together, and then I need to do like a intro and outro to that video, I think. I'm not positive how much work I've actually done on it. I have not worked on it in a while. I need to finish that up basically. I need to get the 2024 edition rounded out and published so that I can start working on the 2025 edition. We're a quarter into the year and I haven't gotten started yet, so we'll see how well it goes. The next reading challenge I'm doing is the A to Z reading challenge. This is goal number 2. I have no update for this at the moment. The last time I talked about it, I have 6 books left. If you're unfamiliar with this reading challenge, you try to pick a book where the title starts with 1 letter of the alphabet, not including a, an, or the. And I actually don't include of either. But as far as like the title goes, any other letter, any other word that begins with the first letter in the alphabet, all the way from A to Z, those count. I have 6 letters left last time I checked in. And if I can finish this reading challenge before the end of June, my plan is to redo this writing challenge, the A to Z challenge again, but instead of doing titles, I want to do authors' last names. So I will start from July to December and read and try to read at least 1 author whose last name starts with each letter of the alphabet. The third and final goal under this category is called Pratchett and Prattle. This was supposed to be a buddy read with a friend where we read Terry Pratchett books and talked about them, whether it was going to be a live stream or a video. We hadn't decided, and I'm actually going to be canceling, ixnaying this goal for now, because when this year started, we hadn't actually settled on details about this goal, and we hadn't talked about how exactly we were going to be doing this, and we still haven't, and we're 3 months into the year. So we're going to figure out all those details, and then we're going to do this again next year instead of this year. And instead, I am replacing that goal with the clock challenge. This is kind of like the A to Z challenge, except for you try to read books where the title starts with a number, or has a number in the title, because it doesn't have to necessarily be the first word, it just has to be somewhere in the title. And the goal is to read a book with each of the numbers in the clock face, so 1 through 12. I've got some books already picked out for this challenge. I just need to sit down and start reading them and completing my clock. In the month of March, I read 17 books. My favorite book was called A Walk in the Park. It was by Rebecca Witherspoon. I DNF'd 2 books, and if you watched my last video, I did explain that DNFs for me, because I'm a mood reader, are just meaning that I did not finish it. I do plan on reading it, I just didn't at the time. And the way I'm doing this is that if I start a book, I have 30 days to complete that book before I automatically DNF it, unless I DNF it for another reason, such as my mood changes. And then I had 0 DNRs, and a DNR for me is a book I have no intention of ever picking up again, and if it's part of a series, I DNF the entire series. The next category is my personal category, and again I had 3 goals under this one as well, the first of which was Hegyes bookkeeping. I have some bookkeeping experience, but I'm trying to get certified so I can open up an LLC and do bookkeeping as a remote job. I have signed up for and completed about 50% of the first course. I discovered that I am taking a program, and that program has, I think it has 3 courses, and I'm halfway through the first course. The second goal under this category is weight training. I don't have an update for this. I actually, because of everything else going on with the truck and illnesses and writing challenges, I haven't even been to the gym to even start working on this. I did weight training in both high school and college, and I have gotten out of the practice over the years, but I do want to get back into weight training so that I can, increase my strength. So more to come on that in the future, but no update at the moment. And then the last goal number 3, is my North Carolina trip. I am planning a trip in October, November, because my youngest sister is getting married, and so we're trying to save up money, plan around this trip so that we can go down there for the wedding and spend time with family and friends, and there's no update on that at this moment in time. The last category number 3, is writing. I have, again, 3 goals for this, but one of them is changing, and that's actually the first goal. The first goal is to work on Jenna's Story, which is the sequel to Puck's Choice, the part of the Shifters and Mages series. My goal was to read through my editor's notes, re-outline, rewrite, and polish and edit the book until I could publish it this year. I am actually setting that project aside to work on shorter projects at the moment, because that one's going to need so much more work than I had originally planned. And instead, I'm replacing that goal with another writing project called A Buck Short. This is actually the project I've been working on for the past couple months with the 7-day book challenges that we've been doing. And it is a novella about a young woman who comes from a long line of witches, but she herself does not have magic powers until her mother does an illegal spell, and she gets a familiar that is a deer, but it may or may not be all that it seems to be. So that's what I've been working on instead, with the idea of writing, editing, and publishing it sometime before 2026, with a 2026 publication goal in mind. The second goal that I have is my newsletter subscriber story. If you are signed up for my newsletter, you were at one point getting a chapter each month as I was posting newsletters to people, or sending newsletters to people, and at the moment everyone is caught up to where I have written to, so I've got to finish the rest of the story and start sending out newsletters again to my subscribers. If you are not a newsletter subscriber and want to be, feel free to sign up. You will be able to read back through what we have done, what I've sent so far, and then you'll get the next chapters as I write them when I finish them. But that project is Blood Like Stained Glass. It is a new adult paranormal romance about a teenager who is a dragon slayer, once related to she's the descendant of St. George. And she is interested in someone who may or may not be a dragon himself. So, kind of enemies to lovers without actually being enemies to lovers. It's been a little bit of fun to write, but I have to get back into it. I have no update at the moment. The last goal is my Sultry Solstices shorts. I mentioned earlier that Meta had taken 2 stories from me from the anthologies, and This series is a series of 7 short stories, and the first one is actually from one of those anthologies. What I've done is I'm increasing the story and building up. I'm adding 2 new chapters from the male love interest point of view, and then I'll be writing the rest of the books in the series, and they will be publishing them rapid release. Right now, the way I'm doing it is I need to finalize the last chapter in Presumed Dead, which is the first of those 7 stories. I did not end up doing that. That was my goal. I did not complete it, so I can't move on to the rest of the stories yet. The projects I wanted to work on in the month of March were both A Buck Short and Presumed Dead. I wanted to finish up that final chapter in Presumed Dead. I wanted to finish the first draft of Buck Short, neither of which happened. Projects that I actually worked on in the month of March is I did a bunch of brainstorming on a couple of different projects. I worked on A Buck Short and almost finished it. I actually ended up getting 25,390 words written in the month of March. I did not complete any projects, but it was close, but no cigar. Alright, that was everything that happened in March, so let's go ahead and talk about my plans for April. This is going to be a little bit faster because we're just going to go what my plans are as far as the 3 categories and the 3 goals under each category. So, first category, this is annual goals based on annual. This is based on annual goals. So the first category is reading. I want to read 2 to 3 books for the A to Z challenge and get more of that A to Z challenge completed the first go round. I also want to choose some Cluck challenge books to read, and then I want to start doing spoiler-filled vlogs that are reading vlogs. I want to keep them a little separately from my weekly vlogs and post those as like bonus content, just because I can go on a little bit of a tangent. And I say spoiler-filled because I don't know how not to do spoiler-filled content as far as like reading vlogs go. So that's something I'm going to be looking at in the future. Under the personal category, I want to complete 1 course. I want to do 30 hours of cleaning and decluttering. And I want to do a complete budget reset so that we can start saving up for our North Carolina trip. Under the category of writing, I want to complete A Buck Short. I've got 3 chapters left, 2.5 technically. I want to get it done. I want to get the first draft done so I can start setting aside and working on other things. I also want to complete that final chapter for Presumed Dead so that I can set that aside and start getting it ready for the next step. And then I want to create a plan for What's Your Story. For anyone who might not know, that is a writing prompt book I'm working on, and I have recently gotten the idea to try to finish it up so I can get that published this year, late this year, but this year. So I'm working on it to see if it's actually accomplishable. So that is everything I accomplished in the month of March and my plans moving forward in April. If you made it to the end of this video, feel free to leave me some kind of birthday related emoji because of the fact that March was my birthday month. And in the comments, let me know how your March went. What are some challenges you faced? What are some things that you accomplished? Tell me all the things. I want to know. I'm nosy. I want to know. Plus, I want to celebrate with you guys and commiserate with you guys. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. Like the next one I'll be doing is a slightly controversial topic because we're going to be talking about writing diverse characters as your main character. So keep an eye out for that. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. I will see you all in my next video. Bye, Dragonlings.